Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the first OpenVC pitch roast coming to you live from the 305. That's right, Miami. I'm Sean Gold coming to you from the hottest new startup tech hub, Silicon Swamp. Seriously, Miami a tech hub? You say startup accelerator and people think it's something for their car. Anyways, I want to welcome you all here because we're going to show you how a VC thinks when they open your pitch deck. This event is being live streamed on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. So please like, share, retweet, subscribe, all that jazz. And most importantly, if you want your pitch deck to be roasted, we are going to have a link in the chat. So if you're brave enough and courageous enough to come on the next roast we do, we'll be glad to have you. So the way this is going to work is that we've collected 5 pitch decks from consenting, that's right, consenting founders, and we are going to roast them live right here in front of you. So to do that, I'd like to welcome the man who regrets not being born before the Reign of Terror, the man who wishes the guillotine was back in style, the man who wants to have his corporate office at the Bastille, the executioner in residence, and co-founder of OpenVC, Stefan Nasser.
Hey, Sean. Hi, everyone. Thanks, Sean, for the intro. That's a strong intro. Hard to go after that. Hi, everybody. We're really happy and excited to launch this new format, this roast. It's a new thing for us at OpenVC, and in the past 6 months, we've spent a lot of time connecting founders and investors, reviewing pitch decks. I have personally reviewed, I think, 100 pitch decks a week for the past 6 months, and so we see a lot of recurring mistakes happening, and want to help with that. And we also see a lot of ways that we can help. And we thought, okay, this format, fun and educational, could be a great way to achieve that. As a quick reminder, if you're not familiar, OpenVC is a free and open platform where we help founders connect with investors. So if you're an early stage tech founder, German SaaS company, US biotech, anything from pre-seed to Series A, you can head out to openvc.app. Check us out. It's 100% free for both sides. And that's it for the promo. And Sean, back to you.
All right. Well, thank you for that. OpenVC is dope, as the kids say. And we're keeping it dope with this roast. So I'm going to introduce our special VC guest, who will hold the title of Chief Roasting Officer just for this event. He's a Berlin-based venture capitalist, which means he's dull and obnoxious. The Blitz to Mike Krieg, the only German who won't ask for your papers, the man who will make you wish for a new Berlin Wall, Max Fleitmann.
Hey guys, thanks for inviting me to this event. Yeah, as you already said, tuning in from Berlin. I have a really special connection to pitch decks because I was building shitty pitch decks myself back in the time. Over the last 15 years, I've created several businesses, at first myself, and then switched sides of the table and became a full-time investor. Over the last 2 years, I looked at, thousands of pitch decks of good companies, bad companies, and something in between. And I also have this special passion for pitch decks because I have another company that helps founders raise capital for their startup. And so I helped over 3,000 founders raise money for their startup, and really excited to be here today and see some good pitch decks, bad pitch decks, and something in between.
Hold on, there's going to be good pitch decks?
I guess we'll never know.
All right. Well, danke, Max. That was a very short introduction, but pointless. All right. So next up, we have the 3 rules of the roast. Now, number 1, this is important. This is all in good fun. We're trying to make this educational. We're trying to provide actionable advice for founders who are watching. So being able to take a joke in life is so important, especially with decks like these. Seriously, what were you thinking when you made these? Number 2, these are real conditions. Max does not know the decks. He hasn't seen them. He's going to open them and spend 2 to 3 minutes on each while saying out loud what he thinks. There is no filter. The first thoughts that come to his mind, so you can understand the thought process of when you submit your deck to an investor. So he's going to give his unfiltered, true, honest thoughts on each deck. And he has his checkbook. So in the event that I am wrong, hold on. In the event that I am wrong, let me try again. Max may take a meeting and may actually invest in one of these startups. And dogs may actually be able to talk. I don't know. The final rule is that we have 10 minutes total per deck. So in the chat, which I see is blowing up, feel free to comment, ask questions. We'll use that to discuss each deck after Max's review. Nothing is off the table. We want to hear from you. So yeah, before we begin, I want to salute and commend each founder who is willing to submit their deck to this roast, to have the guts and the bravery and the fortitude to get roasted on all of our channels and by us. These aren't the worst decks we've ever seen. So that's something you guys have going for you. And you'll forever be known for your courage, but definitely not your definitely not your entrepreneurial acumen. That's for sure. Let's do it. The first one is Enlace, which I can promise will be the first and final time a venture capitalist ever seriously takes a look at this deck. Take it away, Max.
Okay, here we go. So
Max joined.
Okay, so let's open this deck and take a first look. So the first thing that comes to my mind when I see this kind of thing is a hockey stick that I see in a lot of pitch decks. And honestly, I can't see them anymore because in most cases, these kind of hockey sticks can be found in somewhere around the financial numbers. And in 120% of the decks that I saw, this was like total bullshit. So let's check on what it is here. So we want to connect the wealthiest 15% with the rest of the world. So I was asking myself, why do we want to connect these two groups? Let's go one line further. So first of all, I see like 4 or 5 different sizes of the font inside the deck. And so I really don't know where to look at. So I just see something growing on here, but I don't know if they mean if this is growing or what kind of thing is growing, because I would expect something way more clearer, to be honest. And extreme poverty is stagnating. So I don't know what they really want to tell me with this kind of like problem slide, despite of the 85% of the world lives in poverty. So maybe just leave all of this down here out of the deck because it doesn't add any value. And now we are going to a really, really crazy slide that I might need like more than 5 minutes to understand, because we have like different axes on the bottom here and low income countries. This is us. So honestly, I would be really annoyed to look at this because I don't get the sense or the message of this kind of slide. And this is really important because I will be only like spending 10 to 15 seconds looking at this. And so either choose just like bold text blocks, or on the other hand, visuals that I can actually understand. And I don't see any of these two around here. So I would probably click just one slide further. Now we have the same message then as on the like first slide, the cover slide that we saw. So that's interesting, to be honest. And now, okay, now we are going to the solution. So we are trying to use the money of the wealth and make it more like either like tax them more. They won't like it, I think, or just give it away to philanthropy. So where is the business case here? I'm asking myself now. Okay, so actually we are building a platform here, obviously, and we are trying to make donating money easier, I guess. And to be honest, now we are on slide 6 of the pitch deck, and I really don't know what all of this is about. So probably we should be looking at some kind of like product at some point here. And
we'll get to that, I'm sure. I still don't know what it's about.
Yeah, it's like it's weird. It's weird. So obviously it is something around fundraising, or fintech now is one of the buzzwords, and impact. So maybe the market slide will show us how big all of this is. Okay, donor advised funds. So like a market size for me is something that we can grasp a little bit of. And so for me, it would be interesting to see what our share of all of these donations would be. And we are not just like doing it in the US, but we are also doing it in the global market. So we are really going big here. I don't really understand why this is important at this point. So, now we are looking at a solution that does matching, tracking, and impact. And all in all, I just see so many different like logos, text blocks, and everything that I really don't understand what all of this is about. But I guess Ignacio has a plan what he's doing with all of this. At least he has been a global fellow for 10 different times in his life, and there are also a lot of logos. So in general, I would say all of these slides are like filled up with different stuff that I don't understand right away. And maybe this is like the only slide that is really, really relevant, and we can delete all of the 10 slides before, because in the end, this is the mission of the company, I guess. And yeah, they are launching 600K. I'm really, really glad that it's not more, because I think there needs to be done some kind of like work on strategy. And I would probably drop this deck because it really doesn't get me excited, and I don't see any opportunity here.
Oh, come on, Max. This business could make hundreds of dollars.
It probably can, but I won't be the one who will participating in the upside.
Well, I guess the checkbook is closed for Enlace.
So actually, Max just discovered the deck. I had a bit of an advantage because I could look at it earlier, and so I think one thing about this deck that could really be improved is the way they frame their narrative is quite political. If you look at the first few slides, it's about, okay, look, the world is unfair, it's very unfair, it's super unfair, and by the way, you are privileged, right? And then we're gonna either tax you or you're gonna have to give money willingly. So it's not super enticing, it's kind of giving you a lesson, and it's not starting from a need or from an actual use case. However, there's something interesting if you look at the market slide here. No, just above this one, yeah. So it's a big market, right? It's a big market. There is a lot of money to be made, and we can imagine some intermediation platform can be successful. So what I would have done in terms of narrative is I would completely get rid of the kind of political narrative at the start. And I would start with, okay, there is like $300 billion individual donations in the US, which is a lot, right? And then you have the problem, which is, I think, above. If you go above, yeah, there's not just below slide 6. Yeah, this one. So the left part is the problem. Okay, there is over $300 billion donations every year in the US, which is huge. However, it's a pain in the ass, ineffective, negative, and scalable. That's the second slide, your like the problem. The first side is the opportunity, second side, the problem. And then the part here on the right, the blue part, that's your solution.
Yeah, right. So the thing that we need to show here from a startup perspective is that the way fundraising or donations are working right now, it's broken, and now is the right time to change it. And if we are successful at changing it, then there is this like huge opportunity of taking some of this like huge numbers that we saw on the market slide and put it like in our pockets, if we can say so. And this is our tool for it.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and I see some comments that are very interesting. People complaining about the way investors think. And I think that's actually the value of what we're doing right now, right? Because Max is actually making an effort and trying to understand. Now think about a VC who opens your pitch deck on your mobile phone in the metro in Paris, right? How much attention and focus is going to give to your pitch deck. And that's the kind of level of attention you're going to get, especially if you're cold emailing. So from that point of view, I think it's on the founder side to make the effort, although it feels unfair. And I think someone said the way fundraising is done today is broken. I tend to agree, but it's also how the market is, right? So it's up to you as a founder to do your homework.
I think they should change the name from Enlace to Entombed. Fix the deck. Give it back to Max for a second shot. Fix it up and let's get you funded already. You got a good problem you're trying to solve. I don't know what it is, but we'll find it out together.
Yep, absolutely. And then if you can scroll down a little bit, yeah. So this just a few more comments, just trying to add on top. If you go back to slide 8, so the geography here. So I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I feel it's kind of you're giving me facts which are interesting, but this belongs to an appendix, right? You're not gonna get the Asian donation market on year 1 or 2, right? So this is maybe appendix. Yeah. Yeah,
and if I'm thinking about like good pitch decks in general, a good pitch deck is always about leaving information out. So we have 2 or 3 minutes of the attention of an investor who opens the deck, and we decide how they spend these 2 or 3 minutes. And every information that is too much on these kind of slides just is like this or weird information here, weird information there. You can always put it inside the appendix, but you are going to decide, okay, on the first 10 slides, this is the most important information. And this also shows that you have understood your product, but also the market and the most important things out of it.
Yeah. And
I just want to say we have the founder, Ignacio Rodriguez, in the chat. He's the founder being roasted. He said, this was amazing. There we go. Thanks for putting it up there. Thank you, Ignacio, for being brave and being able to take the punches. You are an inspiration, especially to me, to stick with a real job.
All right. And Ines, so happy to provide more structured feedback, later on if you need to. Shall we move on to the next one?
Oh, yeah, we definitely got to do the next one. Next up is Simillusion, which, I mean, it's a short deck, shorter than the time the founder spent on coming up with a name. Simillusion, what is this, from the makers of SimCity? I mean, branding 101, guys, come on. Max, take it away. Max Schnell.
Yeah, so opening up this thing, I'm always like really annoyed by weirdly aligned decks, to be honest, because it just like, if I only have this kind of short amount of time, I like to have like a very clear structure on the stuff that I see. And I also really want to see what all of this is about on the cover slide. Simulate reality, make better decisions. For what? So I need some kind of context to understand all of this. Okay, so coming up, next thing that I just see is like no slide numbers or anything, so it would be hard to reference with my colleagues. But now we are diving into a storyline here. So meet Adam. I remember this guy from WeWork. I hope you.
They couldn't pick a better founder. Was Elizabeth Holmes from Theranos not available? was Bernie Madoff too extreme? Or I mean, come on.
Okay, this looks like a rainbow down here. So I think the problem is something around like making decisions and not knowing the consequences. But we can leave a lot of this stuff out and just put a punchline down here. But now we can tame the chaos. Okay, I think like the way they just put in the photo here looks really, really weird. And as someone was doing it in Paint or something, and also the choice of the font looks really, really like as someone was doing it who has never done a design before.
Would you say that the together is indented in the top title? Like, why is there a space? Why isn't it just started at the left of the page?
Yeah, and there are like 3 different indents here.
Yeah,
so,
come on.
Okay, but we can tame the chaos. So we can build a business inside a simulation. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Now it's getting really, really weird because we got another color in the house, and now we are also have some kind of like it looks like, I don't know, Age of Empires or something that is coming up on the bottom right. And the choice of fonts and also the indents again is like really weird. So I don't know what the heck is going on here. So we should probably work a little bit on that. And
a little. I don't think I can do this. How do you roast a catastrophe? Okay, how do you roast the? Look at this. What is this? Is this Adam Newman's new startup, or is he just here as the mascot?
Yeah, and I would ask myself, where did you get the inspo for this deck? So I've never seen something like this before. It looks like like the stuff that I was doing in 5th grade in school, to be honest. And we should we should probably just dump it into the trash and do something like a new deck again. But okay. So I should buy a game and not software in a software as a service model, and I don't know what the heck is going on here, to be honest. Okay, and now it gets really, really weird because just like hundreds of numbers are thrown at us, and nice. But at least they see that we as VCs need a big upside. So we see like $128 million in MRR. So this is what really gets me excited. But we need some kind of like explanation for this, because otherwise this would be the biggest bullshit show that I've ever seen. So is this a competition slide? I'm not sure, really.
I think so. It's a competition slide.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what any of this is. I feel like I remember when I said earlier that these aren't the worst decks I've ever seen. Well, I've been proven wrong. This is definitely one of the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm glad they are not looking for an investment with this deck. Okay, so I think this is like really nice, so that we at least don't know who the founder is and can't like hunt him down and ask him why the heck did he create this. So
I mean, we could call him and then giggle and hang up laughing when he answers. You know, just because look at this. What I don't understand this. I don't understand any of this.
No, me neither. And I really have this feeling like this is something that is totally made up to really bother us down here, because like I have never seen a deck like this. And if you are looking for pitch decks, you will also will never find a deck like this. So even the worst decks that I've seen in the web are looking way better than this.
Well, they're not asking for money. Look, they want to get to know you. So I guess they don't have Facebook or LinkedIn. So yeah, this is I guess they just want to be friends. Would you want to be friends with this team, Max?
I prefer not to be honest.
So you guys had your fun. Now it's my turn. I'm gonna start from the bottom. Okay. So first thing is, some people tell you, you should not ask for a meeting just to exchange notes, this kind of things. If you go to ask me something. If I'm an investor, I'm not here to discuss. I have enough meetings, to take. So I'm not sure like how good or bad strategy is. You hear both sides. Definitely agree with you, Max, on the design. And this is something super interesting, right? Obviously, this person, I don't remember the name, like is trying to build a company, put some time putting together a pitch deck. It's poorly done, but he did try, right? But all we're talking about is the design. We didn't discuss the business once.
Yeah.
That's because they're hiring the first customers.
Yeah. Okay. So where's that? But
on the slide, we have to hire. Obviously, a successful business hires their first customers. So.
And you can also use them as investors actually. But and someone tells the website looks much better, so maybe we can take a look at that later. But I just want to point out, how much impact design has, and how we don't care at all about the business because we just defocused by the design. Another thing, so maybe I'm guilty, but I like the Adam Neumann at the beginning. I think it's a good attention catcher,
What about Adam Newman at the end with the shirt that says he loves the company? Yeah. Is that still good?
But at some point, I'm okay, like entertain me for the first slide or the first 2 slides. I'll give you that, right?
Yeah.
But then give me some substance. What's the business about?
To be honest, Steph, so I would have scrolled like from this slide to this slide and this third, and this would be all okay. But I would have probably dropped the deck around this slide, because if they are not even taking the time to align the text and have like proper headings or something, they are not like, it's not worth my time looking at this kind of thing.
Yeah. So this tells me, one, they kind of disrespect me because they don't even care to give me a good presentation. 2, they don't understand the power of design. And if they don't understand that with their investors, they're not going to understand that, in their marketing or with their customers. And 3, I don't understand what they do. Like I read, it's a combination of gaming and simulations, but like give me more, show me something. So yeah, that's really, 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 even trying really hard, I cannot, I just cannot like get into it. And of course, they don't tell you anything about what they've achieved. Like, is there a prototype? Is there MVP? Do they have users? You don't know any of that. So yeah, for me, it's it's hard. It's a hard one to chew.
It's an impossibility. Good try, though. It looks like it was made with Clippy from PowerPoint 20 years ago, and Clippy told them what to do.
Yeah,
Clippy said, don't indent.
And I'm asking myself on every slide, is this kind of like exit button? Is this my button to just like drop it into the bin, or what kind of button is this?
All right, should we move to the next one? 6:30.
Please.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I've suffered enough on this one.
Can you send the link, Steph?
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't send you the link. Yeah.
Our next one, as we get the link set up here, you're going to love it. Don't worry. We've got 3 more on this natural disaster that's happening, this wrath of God. Mighty Pets. Ooh, Mighty
Here we
Pets. They're looking, this one could be good. They're looking for an angel investor, but listen, you don't need an angel. You need a miracle. Take it away, Max.
Okay, so first look at the deck. At least I can see that they are looking for an investment in 2022, and they also have like a solid looking logo and at least an alignment on the first slide. So I would ask myself, what does blur the lines between traditional veterinary care and mainstream pet health mean? So what is the value that I can get out of Mighty Pets? Okay, now we are looking at different issues. So first of all, I'm just a little bit overwhelmed by the pure amount of issues that we are seeing on this kind of slide. So
that was the issues that the investors get from looking at the deck, at least me. I mean, I've got stomach issues and pain. I've got an eye condition from this, but yes, it applies to pets as well.
Yeah, so but I understand that there are a lot of like pet health issues where I need to bring my pet to the doctor. And I also understand from this slide that it's like products are like expensive and the market is quite huge. So I'm a little bit interested right now how Mighty Pets will change that, or where our approach in the market is right now. So let's jump to the next slide. Overall, now I'm a little bit overwhelmed again because there are like so many highlighted parts of the text. So we have red down here, red up here, and I would prefer to have just like one punchline that tells me what all of this is about. But let's take a look. So it seems they have already quite a lot of products, and they are also selling it at a like reasonable price tag. So okay,
Thank you, Johnny. I love you, Johnny. Sorry, Max. Go ahead. We had to give some love to Johnny in the chat.
But I'm asking myself, if I'm looking at this slide, so where's the difference to all the other like pet products on the market? So maybe delete a lot of these different screenshots and all of this text and give me the reason why I should buy it in the end. Oh, and this is also a really, really good one. We have a team that delivers results. Okay, obviously every single team in every single pitch deck says that. So just give me a reason why you are different than all of the other people and why you are the right team to bring it off.
Max, 2 out of 3 of these founders have cats. Okay, that's it. Right there at the bottom, last bullet. Cat parent, cat parent.
Ah, yeah, this is cat parent. Okay, this is
okay.
So they
so we have
experience, right?
We have experienced people, so that's extremely, extremely needed.
And they also have all of them have so much experience in other industries. So maybe it would be interesting for me to learn why they have experience to build an actual like startup and pet startup, and not like some international program management or innovation strategy around governance or something. This is like startup is about bringing something to life first, and then you have to be really passionate about all of this. But at least I can jump straight to their LinkedIn and check them out. Now I'm asking myself, why is the design so much different from all the other slides? Was just the first thing that came to my mind. And some of these numbers we have seen before, I think. But okay, we are going to take 1.5% share in the market. And I'm asking myself always around these kind of numbers, where do they come from? Because in the end,
a calculator.
Yeah, a broken calculator. So most of the numbers in pitch decks that I see are just total nonsense, and I have seen nothing where they fit up in the end, or like where they're actually right. But maybe we have some explanation down here. Okay, so okay, if we attract all of the 190 million potential customers and all pay an average order value of $25. Is this per month? Is this per year? I guess per year. This seems quite low. We have a potential of 4.8 billion.
Well, at least it's not 5 billion. That'd be a little excessive and unrealistic.
Yeah, but this slide in general is also very, very weird, because on the one hand, I just came from the whole target market, and now they are talking about the underserved market. But I'm not really grasping what this underserved market is looking like. But at least the pet industry in general is growing, and this is also the fourth slide on the market side. So if there are 4 more, we are quite good, I guess. So it's working. Other brands out there, I just see pixelated images down here. So why don't you use the same stuff that you did here? And I also see a lot of long texts that really don't get me excited around all of this. So tell me why Mighty Pets is different than all of the other products. Okay, we are truly unique. Premium product at attainable prices. This is what I see in the supermarket on every second product, to be honest. So maybe we can just put it besides all of the other products. Now some great logos around here that I don't understand, that I don't know, and US manufacturers. So also a lot of different icons around here, stuff that really is hard to understand at first. But okay, so this is actually something that I like. So 15,000 ratings on Amazon, 4.5 stars shows that they're actually selling stuff. So why don't we have the traction way before in some kind of slide? And now, no, this doesn't look good. So why is this
this is not good.
This is not good. So if I see something like this in a deck, there's some huge red flag, because it's growing. Now it's decreasing, and then it should be growing again. So okay, COVID-related issues, supply chain issues, could explain it, but this is always something that I would really describe and give more data on, because otherwise I wouldn't believe it. And the revenue model, so this is way too complex. Just tell me, is this a subscription? Is it a one-time payment? Not this kind of weird bullshit. Okay, so we have different revenue models. And now we are not talking about revenue models anymore, but we are talking about metrics in general. So I don't know what we are doing here, to be honest. Revenue for me is about how I make money. But at least we have a strategy on how to create customers for this kind of business. Influencers trust us. But I want to see numbers around here. So give me some actual campaigns that you did, some actual numbers, some results out of this. Just saying, we are good in everything is not the stuff.
Look how happy those dogs look. Those are dog influencers, and they love it. They can't.
Yeah, it still looks like stock photos, to be honest. And now we are raising 1.2 million to 10x sales in 3 years. I don't know. What should I request down here? So there's 6 or 7 times on one slide on request. So what should I request here now here? The revenues?
Yeah. So
the revenue.
Here
business.
Here I have to jump in because it's a public stream. They asked to conceal some data points because they want to protect their business information.
Okay. All in all, the best deck that we have seen so far today, but I think there's huge potential because we can just delete half of the slides and make the other slides a little bit more concise about the stuff that we have already done. And this is like the biggest lever that you as MightyPads have, that you are already in business, you have sales, you have customers, you are working with influencers. So show it and just don't like put in some weird text blocks that don't say anything.
And get some different pets holding up the product. Maybe a snake, tarantula, cockatoo. You know, there's a whole market out there you're missing, the exotic pets market that no one's going after.
Yeah, 100%. You guys already have numbers, so you should put that forward. Too much text and low value text. I think that's exactly what you said just now, Max. Like too much text that doesn't bring much information. And I think, as you said, you don't understand the positioning of that thing. And there could be, a giraffe, Olga says. And there could be, a word you say, okay, this is going to be, I think for me, if I make a little effort of imagination, I think, okay, this is going to be a kind of D2C, premium pet. It's going to be like what's this mattress brand that sells online that everybody loves, that is super expensive?
Oscar.
Casper or something. Yeah. Casper. So it's like Casper of pet products. And then I get it, like in 3 words, Casper for like pet food. Okay. And it's subscription, so I understand the metrics. It's e-commerce. Yeah, thanks, Alexi, Casper. So,
yeah, but also one small note here around me as an investor, I'm always looking for opportunities in the businesses that I invest in. And there could be an opportunity, for example, if something changes in the market. So, for example, when the App Store came up, there was a lot of new opportunities around creating apps for these kind of app stores. And so in the pitch decks, you could see, okay, we are the first app that will be building, a marketplace for farmers on the App Store or anything. And on the other side, now, if I look at a lot of decks, I'm missing out on this kind of opportunity thinking. So, for example, for MightyPads, this could be a change in customer behavior. So customers are shopping more online, and also the owners of the pads they want to shop in recurring models or something. And now we can be the first brand that does it for, dogs, for example. And we have seen in the past that it works for humans when they are ordering from HelloFresh or something. So this is the kind of opportunity that I want to see.
Yeah, exactly. And I think actually they have a good case for that, right? Because it's like in the West, people have fewer kids and more pets. That's one thing. Those are usually demographics that have higher disposable income. So they don't care spending tons of money on, unproven premium pet food, because it's more about feeling good. And people buy more online. So you have this nice, Venn diagram with 3 circles. They're dead in the center, so they are at the intersection of trends. But yeah, they don't, and they kind of say that in the first slides, but you don't remember it because it's too much text. And
just one final word on it. So if there's something like post-COVID now, a lot of investors don't like to invest into D2C and e-commerce anymore because all the numbers are going down. So if you know that this is the case right now for your industry, make sure to add a slide for this specifically and explain why you think you are still in a good position to grow MightyPads or your D2C company despite all of the market trends that we are seeing.
Nice. All right.
All right, there's hope for you. There's hope. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, up next, you ready for our next stop on the misery train? Cloodle. Cloudle is like the Gmail of security. Don't compare your company to another more established company that everybody knows to describe your company. Okay, that's just rule number 1. Because I have a feeling it's kind of not like Gmail. And even if it is, they have a 1.5 billion user head start on you. So take it away, Max.
Okay, first thing that comes to my mind is all of this white space that I'm seeing here. So why don't you make the heading a little bit bigger? And it's like Gmail of security for SREs. Okay, understand this. Also, I personally like if you know who you are talking to right away. So the founder on the first side. But now let's jump in, and now we are seeing again these huge blocks of text that I really hate, because I don't know where my eyes should be looking at, and I'm jumping from one text block to the other instead of having the main value of the slide somewhere in the center or in the heading, like something like an action title. But okay, a cybersecurity tsunami. There's a cybersecurity tsunami upon us. Okay, I don't see a tsunami here. I see someone with a lock, like hanging from the roof. Okay, but
it's Mission Impossible. You cannot not have the reference. He's coming to steal your data.
It is.
I guess. I guess you don't get the Mission Impossible reference from a movie from over 30 years ago. Come on.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm old.
Duh, from 1995's biggest movie. Clearly, you should remember the reference.
All right.
Yeah, I was just like I don't know where to look at in this deck, because like there are like so many informations and so many sentences. So I would probably just like click one slide further to learn more about this. Oh, okay, and now we have another kind of like market slide or something, or competition, future now, without the right tools, most business values in digital. Okay, I don't know why all of these logos are here. Okay. Now right now we have like domains, apps, and stuff, and in the future it will be more like crypto, NFTs, and all of that stuff. But where's the problem around this? So okay. So the cyber criminals are trying to steal stuff from us, but on the one hand we don't see it and we don't know how to act. But can't you make this a little bit more clear without like spending 3 slides on that? This is a team slide. In this team slide, I don't understand why you put like 200 logos down here. For me, it would be way more interesting to learn what you actually did in all of these companies before, and why you are the right persons to get this kind of startup off the ground. And the problem that I have with the team slide in this kind of like order in the deck is that I still don't know where the solution is for this kind of problem. And I'm also not 100% sure that I understood the problem. Okay, this is like actually the same stuff that we had like 2 slides before, just like the total opposite. So this should be the solution. And now you're always using this kind of like weird way of dividing your slides into like different text blocks. So isn't there any kind of like visual we can use or mock-up or anything? And also, if we are saying something like Cloudle Academy is Stack Overflow plus Khan Academy for SREs, this is also very unspecific. So just give me the value proposition of it. What kind of value am I getting out of this as a business owner or as an SRE? Okay, so this should be some kind of like customer story. I don't think customer stories should be inside most decks, at least not if they are like this long, because no one will read all of this on the right side. So maybe just put it on your traction slide with a little sentence of what you did for them. And this is something that I miss a lot in all of your deck, like the value proposition. But now we are looking at the market opportunity. So also asking myself, 10% of the available market, where does this number come from, to be honest? And if we are looking, okay, 90,000 ACV, is this something you already charge? Is this something that you assume you can charge? Does the competition charge it? Would be great to have more background information on that. Okay, now we're looking at the traction metrics. And I think there is a better way of displaying it, because right now it looks like a table that was from some kind of like investment banking presentation or something. And I would expect it in a slide deck of 100 slides or something. But the traction slide is always about really showing off what you have already done as a company and really giving me attention on these like 3 or 4 or 5 key metrics, key things that you have already done. And so take this kind of opportunity and show me, for example, that you have already 15,000 assets under protection. Okay, so in general, a lot of context is missing on these kind of slides. So it would be great to understand what you are telling me with this kind of slide in terms of, is this your go-to-market slide? Is this another slide on the features, on the product? I'm not really sure about this. But at least, okay, I understand you're raising 300K. This is what you are going to do with it. For these kind of slides, I really would like to see something more specific. So what are you spending the money on, and what is like the exact thing that we will be accomplishing with it? So is it just like the marketplace listings? Is it something we can do in, I don't know, 1 hour? Is it really hard to do it? And how much do we need a specific ranking? I always like to have like concrete goals. I like this kind of CTA in the end. And now we have like, okay, one appendix. So all in all, an okay-ish deck, but really I didn't grasp the opportunity because all the text that is around here also would add like slide numbers, would make it way easier. And I haven't seen anything around the product, to be honest. Steph, what do you think?
Yeah, for me, this is the deck that has the widest gap between the potential, it could be super exciting, and I will explain why in a second, and the actual delivery of the deck. I think there's a gap here. The one before Mighty Pets seems like a decent to good opportunity, and the deck is also pretty good, right? I mean, compared with the rest, obviously. This one, I feel that there's a gap. I'll tell you why. So, okay. First off, completely agree with Max's comment here, too much white. We have the logo twice. We don't need the logo twice. So here, actually, if you spend some time reading the narrative, which I did, because I had the deck before, so I cheated. In the first few slides, the narrative is pretty solid. It's like, there's a big threat, which is cybersecurity. And this is something everybody will agree on. Cybersecurity is hot. It's a big trend. Everybody wants to hop on the cybersecurity bandwagon, even when they're not from the industry. I'm not from the industry, but if there's a strong team that does cybersecurity stuff and they seem to know their shit, if the lead is strong, I would probably want to co-invest. So, I'm in, and I think everybody's pretty much in if the lights are green on the rest. And then the second slide is about that the opportunity is actually growing because we have more and more assets, valuable assets online, right? Before it was maybe your domain name could be hacked or your database could be hacked. Now it's also your NFT, your crypto. So the opportunity is getting even bigger. So super exciting, tell me more. But then and as someone said, yes, it's very technical. You don't tell me what SREs are. You tell me you're the Gmail, and then you tell me you are Khan Academy, and then you tell me you're Stack Overflow, right? In the same deck, you have 3 different things. I really don't see the difference between each of them or the commonalities. The layout has 0 hierarchy. If you go to the slide before, and I think this is basic design concept, and you're a founder and you feel you shouldn't care about that, but you should because that's how people understand your thing. Here, I don't know what I should read first. What is the core message? I'm lost, right? I'm overwhelmed. So I don't, and I still don't understand what they do. If you guys are listening, by the way, hello, I don't understand what you guys do. And
I don't understand it neither.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Explain it to me like I'm an idiot, which shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, right. And I mean, you should do that for everything. So if we move forward a little bit, when I'm looking at the cybersecurity deck or anything really technical, what I will really look at is a team because I want a team that is deep in that space. And here, okay, 35 years of experience, why not, but give me some bullet points, give me some meat. For each one of you guys, Akash, Ria, Sandeep, what have you achieved? What's your track record in that space? And I see a lot of logos, and I think, Max, you said that. I don't know who this is. Is this your clients? Is this pilots? Is this the companies you've worked with before? I have no idea.
and also like for me, the best founders in like very techie topics are able to explain what they do in a very, very simple way so everyone can understand it. And you always have to think about like, if I'm opening the deck as an investor for the first time, I haven't been working 35 years in the industry as you have been doing it. So for you, like sending out the deck is like the first step to get the foot in the door. And then you have enough time to explain all of the details in the second or third meeting. But for the first, just to get like, this is just to get the first meeting. So leave out all unnecessary stuff and just give me like the high level story around why this is exciting.
Yeah, exactly. Get me excited. Like
I'm excited because we're done with it. That's the most exciting part. We never have to look at it again.
Okay, let's be fair to them. Let's just continue. Still, SREs. I don't know what SREs are. Again, I have 3 times SREs. You make me feel dumb. And by the way, I see those little characters. I think they come from maybe Unsplash or one of Undraw or one of those websites. I think they're kind of done and overdone, right? So it's kind of tiring me. That's a detail, but when you see like 20 decks a day, like I do, and like a lot of investors do, you kind of get annoyed easily, which is probably I shouldn't be, but that's reality. Okay, then I still don't understand what the product is. As Max said, I would love a mock-up. I would love a screen or something, screenshot. The traction, this is not a traction. Show me a curve. Show me, make it more. Remove all the description, maybe, and just show me like the logo, the number. That's enough, and all the description. That's for the conversation in person, if we get to that point. And that's
a big if. That's a big if.
It's a big if, right? It's a big if. Again, I opened this like waiting for my Uber, and I'm just 2 minutes to decide if I reply with and send you my calendar link. Yeah, site reliability engineering, says Maurice. Still not so sure what it means. I can imagine, but
we can look that up together.
Let's continue. And here again, again, it's design, it's done, but 3 times the same logo, it's a bit boring. Maybe one logo for that represents what you're talking about. It's not that hard. There are tons of templates out there. Anyway, I don't know. Let's go to the end.
And also, I always like if in a deck you always like use the same kind of like slide structure in terms of like, for example, how you show like 3 bullet points that you are showing. And this can be the same in terms of like structure for the traction, but also, I don't know, the go-to-market. But if you are changing all the elements over and over again and swapping them all around the slide, it makes it really, really hard to like just scroll down and understand the red line that goes through it.
Yeah, those decks that have the 3 parts. It's like the slide is sliced into 3 vertical boxes, and then you have 5 times that same layout, one after the other. You kind of you're bored. You feel like it's different information every time, but you're bored because you feel like you're looking at the same thing again and again. So let's just finish it. What's going?
Please help, please.
I think 200K. Okay. Well, whatever. I feel the ask is relevant compared to the level of maturity I can guess. I don't know, Max, if you feel the same. This seems reasonable. But I'm not.
The thing is, I don't know at what kind of level they are. Is this an idea? Is this already a working product? Is this like do we already have customers? So this is like my biggest question mark. So what are we looking at here?
Yeah.
It's like Gmail, but better. First slide. Duh. Come on.
Gmail meets Khan Academy meets what's the third one again? Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I got it. Duh. That's a bargain. This company can make you a millionaire if you're already a billionaire.
Thanks, Sean. Let's move on. Did I send you the last link?
No,
of course.
No, the last one.
Send it over. Last but not least.
The last one, Keymate. A Keymate, which is a deck that makes me wish I'd had an actual pitch for a real deck with some trees, some patio furniture, a barbecue. Which brings us to our sponsor, IKEA. If you need patio furniture for your deck, IKEA has it all. Just because summer may be ending doesn't mean the fun at your deck has to. Make sure to use my code SAIDHELP at checkout. Now
Okay,
let's get the Keymate and do it.
It's like the same stuff over and over again around the design of the deck. And this is like so important, at least for myself, because right now, if I'm looking at this kind of deck, I imagine someone didn't know how to export this kind of deck properly because there's like this big white border around the deck. And I'm asking myself, why is this border existent? And also, I know that I'm getting a pitch deck, so we shouldn't write that this is a pitch deck.
But do you?
I wouldn't.
We can assume it's a pitch deck. We can assume, but yes, continue.
If it goes to my email, probably it's a pitch deck, but could be also some kind of like brochure for some kind of, I don't know, weird stuff from the supermarket or something. But why don't you use like this kind of like all of this space to just tell me what Keymate is about, because I don't know it again. And also, please leave out everything that is totally unnecessary. So presented by is just like, I don't know, waste of time. Okay, but now actually this is the first deck where I can totally understand what the product is about. So we are building a marketplace for short stay lodging. We have mockups here, so I know this is a working product, or at least it should be soon. So I wouldn't tell them that it will be soon available on Google Play and then show the mockups. So leave this out. And it connects travelers on any budget with vetted local hosts. Okay, now I want to have like the problem why we need this. Oh no. Okay, so this is like, on the one hand, from the design perspective, this is catastrophe, because why is there so much white space? Why are you having like these kind of like block formats for your text? And the third thing is, why are you having like, what is on this kind of slide? It's the same stuff that is one slide before. So just leave it out. Okay, now we have like a totally different problem, and I can see that the design was just copied out of like Google Sheets or I don't know, Word or something into the presentation, and you didn't even take the time to format it in a new way. So I would be really annoyed here. And also, I don't understand why, like, if you are not blind, you would see that you can't read this kind of logo here. So why are you putting it down here? And also, again, too much text. Just tell me what the problems are, and maybe also switch the solution on another slide, because this looks like really, really boring and annoying.
It doesn't look like it at all. Come on, it doesn't look
okay,
like it.
Now we are also jumping into the typo train. So we have competitors or something around here. So please make sure that you don't have any typos in your pitch deck. And would be also great if you could, I don't know, put logos or something here, because this looks like a presentation that was done in the 90s or something, you know, when you had like this little thing in your PowerPoint that helped you to create this kind of presentations. And now it's getting really weird, because now it looks like, it looks a little bit like in a church or something. I don't know. So I don't see like the business context around this kind of like stock image. And obviously, like, stock images in general are a bad idea. So if you don't have a proper image, just leave the image out at all. And this seems like the same stuff that I've written 2 times before. So let's jump over to the next one, how our platform works. Okay, this is like, again, why are you always using so much text? You can also show this to some kind of diagram or something with some arrows, and just have like the main aspects of it. Because I will never read 6 or 7 bullets of text on one slide. Now we are having, again, like totally different colors that we are using. So if you just choose a color palette for your business and then use it on every slide, and don't mix everything up. And also, why are you like telling me the same exact number on the left side and then on the right side? So I can read all of this. So on the left side should be some more information despite it. Now we are actually jumping in some kind of like different types of accommodation, but I'm asking myself, why do I need this information around here? So maybe some context around this. And this looks almost like from here to here, it changes into an internal company presentation or something where I just see like the KPIs for the last months or something. But you're not talking about why it is interesting for me as an investor. But now we are looking at the founding team.
Hold on. They're wearing the shirt with their logo of their startup on the shirt. That's like going to see a band and the band is wearing their own shirt. Please, just don't do that. Just for a cool aspect. Please, wear any other shirt but one that has your startup name on it.
And again, I see a mistake that I see in a lot of decks and that we had before, like just listing up all the different companies you've worked before. No one cares about it. The only thing that I care about is why you are the right person to build this kind of business, and the experiences or the learnings that you had in your previous businesses, jobs, however, that made you the right person to do it now, and not like listing up your CV. For your CV, I can request it later or I can go to your LinkedIn, but this is around giving me confidence to invest my money into you. Okay, this is a classic go-to-market slide that I see for a lot of businesses, and that is like total nonsense. So this just says me, okay, we are not sure how we are going to market. We are just trying everything and we don't have a clear strategy. I want to see clear tasks, clear strategies. For example, build our own brand on social media through like working together with influencers on a weekly basis, and be very concrete about this. But the thing with early stage startups is always limited resources. And if a startup tells me they are doing conventional media channels like television, they are doing social media, and all of the 4 channels that you see here, they are doing paid promotions and they are doing SEO and SEM all at the same time, I call bullshit on them, because you can never do it all at once, especially not in the early stages. Our progress so far, so I would, this looks like a, okay, so maybe I'm a really bit annoyed by this kind of like visual, because I would expect like just like the main bullets on what you have done, or adding some kind of numbers like dates or years or something. But I don't see this kind of like progress chart working well for this kind of information. And now this is another stock photo that you can delete because this looks like shit. And
oh, come on, that plant's gonna grow to a huge tree.
And you don't need to be so formal in your deck. Just give me the information and not some kind of like big article that you would write in school or something. So, and I would expect the funding amount somewhere in the end of the deck and not like before the revenue model. So you are making 10% commissions from hosts. Okay, another weird unsplash or I don't know, clip art, GIF or something. So all in all, I think the best slide in this deck was the first one, and you could almost like delete 90% of the other ones because I don't get any additional information.
Blunt and to the point. 1 pager. That's all you need. Save us some time, save us some heartbreak.
And actually, you know what? I'm going to defend them a little bit. I do like the colors. So, you know, maybe I'm like a 5-year-old, but I like the catchy.
Because you are colorblind.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's too. Yeah, that's true, actually.
No, I don't have anything against the colors, but you need to have like a palette that you are using the same way for every slide. But we have every kind of color from the rainbow around these kind of slides. So why don't you just like stay and use the 3 or 4 colors that you choose in the beginning?
Yeah. Okay, so design is one thing, but now let's put design aside because we've focused on design a lot, and let's try to look a bit at the substance behind, for example. So if I understand correctly, this kind of Airbnb for Nigeria, right? Which am I correct? I'm not sure, but it's kind of what I understand. And that could be cool, I guess. I mean, Africa is a touristy market. It has its own challenges and payment systems and regulation stuff. So maybe you're going to need a different platform. Why not? So if you scroll down a little, I'll just point out a few things I can share. So no, just the first slide. The one before that, yeah. So SaaS-based marketplace. No, it's a marketplace. No need for SaaS-based. Yeah, Airbnb for urgent Nigeria, exactly. And I look, they made an effort. I mean, you have the mock-ups; they're pretty nice. This is neat, right? I mean, they made an effort on the images. It's just everything around it is like subpar. But there are some good like parts that they could reshuffle. If we scroll down a little, also something.
Okay. But for example, just pointing out one thing. So, what is like a software as a service-based marketplace? For me, you either have like a software as a service model or you have a marketplace model in the core of your business. But what is like the connection between these two?
Yeah, but that's the thing. They are founders, they're not investors. So when you and I would speak, we understand what the codes are, what the keywords are, but they don't. And so that's a thing. As a founder, you need to kind of level up and learn, including the vocabulary that investors use. So you could use, for example, the term of market network, which is a new term, I think 1 or 2 years ago, coined by NFX, right? And that's a SaaS cross marketplace play. So you could refer to that. There's another thing. It's about the titles. So there is what we call action titles and what we call main titles. And the title should be, the key message. And I think, when you it's not problem and solution. You describe the problem, right? We're fixing A or B or C, which we don't have here. We have to read. I don't like reading. So,
Good job defending them, Steph.
Then look, everybody's so lazy, right? I even swipe on TikTok because it's too long for me sometimes.
We need. That's what someone should do. We should have a TikTok, but for the millisecond crowd.
That's the thing, right? You have that to catch my attention, and it's so important. So, and there are really nice mock-ups and screenshots. It's just a shame that the rest is not.
Yeah. So for example, just by changing the titles. So for example, instead of how our platform works, you can say Keymate is the easiest way to list your property to fellow travelers, or like to promote your property to fellow travelers. This like gives you the opportunity to leave out at least like 2 or 3 of the other bullet points.
Yeah.
And also, for example, around the market slide here. The market slide is, for me, the most important information I can get out of this is how good a founder can understand the market he's working in. So give me how you are reading this slide as a founder. So do you think this market is attractive? Why is this market attractive? What kind of things are changing in the market? Is it growing? Is it decreasing? And give me some more context on your thinking. Because in the end, with all of these early stage startups, I'm betting on you as a founder and not specifically on a business idea. So it's also a pitch deck is around understanding how a founder thinks and if I trust him in the capability of getting this off the ground.
And another topic, one of the most convincing things is showing what you've already done. And I think it's all of the decks we've seen, except for the Mighty Pets, except for the pet food thing. None of them has really shown that, I think, right? Yeah. Like, what have they achieved? So these guys, they have incorporated, if you go down a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
They got the T-shirts made. Come on.
No, but okay, look. Okay, the T-shirt is kind of a 2010 thing, right? I think at the time when, accelerators were a big thing and you wanted to have the photo. And the photo is nice. I mean, those guys look good, right? I see them. I want to hang out with them, maybe have a beer.
They want to hang out with you if you're going to give them a check. So.
But here you see, like, okay. So, and by the way, that's something I see on a lot of pitch decks, especially the early stage, especially in emerging markets, more than in the US. People will say, yeah, we incorporated, we have a bank account, we filed, we registered the brand, all that stuff. Nobody cares about that. The only exception I make is the Delaware C Corp. When you are in an emerging market, because it's an information that may be useful for a VC, because a lot of VCs will say we only invest, in US-based companies, and so knowing that you're a C Corp in Delaware, I can invest in you, you're in my scope. But all the rest, is secondary, right? So talking about survey and stuff, I understand it's important for you, it's work you've done, but it's weak validation. A wait list, unless it's 500,000 people on the wait list, but waitlist, all that stuff is weak validation. Today, with no code, you're supposed to be able to put together something without coding in a week and test the market. So the bar is super high. And if you're raising funds from a VC, especially if you cold emailing, you have to show something. It cannot be just a story. And that's, that's my opinion on this. $15,000 family and friends. Yeah. So it's
but there's something that I would disagree a little bit on. So
okay.
Around the product market fit survey completion, for me, traction can be anything that you have been doing since the moment you started thinking about this kind of idea. And obviously, the longer you are in business, this will be more around like revenue numbers, user numbers, and everything. But for me as an investor, it is also a strong sign that you are really onto something. If you did the hard thing of talking to 100 people, 200 people, but then just give me also a little bit of context of what you learned out of these kind of like surveys or interviews that you did. Because in the end, there are still a lot of businesses and founders that are just, oh, I have an idea and now I start and build my idea. But in the end, like finding proper product market fit is like the hardest thing to do. And everything that you are doing to get closer to validating or not validating your hypotheses is like important for me.
Okay, so let me ask you, Max. We're going to take the example of Alexis in the comments. If someone puts in a pitch deck, we have 400 people signed up to our waitlist in the past 3 months. Is that compelling enough for you to take the meeting? Is that like enough traction or strong enough that, okay, I'm going to like give them a call? As an investor,
if they are just telling me I have this waitlist of 400 people, no. But if I'm thinking and looking at pitch decks, for me, it's about like how many check marks I can get for myself. And just imagine I need like my personal threshold is around like 20 check marks in my head that I need to accomplish. Then this 400 people on the waitlist could be the thing that moves the needle in the end. And it's way better than if you're just saying, we are working on this for 6 months and we don't have anything to show. So it's around like for me to understand what progress you have already made. And this can be this waitlist, this can be the interviews, but it obviously like if you have revenue or something, this is way better. And I would also encourage you to think about ways on what is like a stronger validation compared to just a waitlist. Can you pre-sale something? So this is interesting.
All right, we have a question here. Where would you recommend emerging market startups refine their pitching chops? It seems like several of them could reuse some mentoring guidance. Yes, so I don't know, Sean, Max, if you guys see do you see a lot of deal flow from emerging markets?
I mean, emerging markets are hot, you know. I mean, Max, is that your scope?
I see some kind of startups from the emerging markets, but in total, I would say this is like around 10% of the deals that I see probably. And yeah, I can just like encourage you to, if I were a founder in an emerging market, I would try to find communities of fellow founders and entrepreneurs that are probably not in emerging markets, but somewhere UK or like Europe or US based. Because I think in general, you can always learn from the ecosystem that are a little bit further in their development, and especially around pitch decks and how to talk to investors and everything. There's so much knowledge out there in these kind of founders that you can then take and bring into your own deck. Because the good thing about all of this like global world is there's no problem anymore. You can easily connect with anyone in the world. And so I would try to do that.
All right. Can we close this deck? I think we're done with the decks, right?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Yeah. Yes.
All right. So, and I think we lost you, Sean. Let me put you back on screen.
Yeah, put me back.
Welcome back.
Oh, there you go. So I was just saying, I want to seriously thank everyone for taking the abuse and the punches and the kicks. I mean, it's not easy being a founder. It's not easy taking criticism. And to do it in the public space like this shows that you have fortitude, and it really changes my life. For instance, I was having a rough morning, and now I'm laughing. So, there's always something good to have. But yeah, you have a few people who have the fortitude to do it. And for those who want to get roasted next, there's a link in the chat going around. We're going to put it up on OpenVC, I'm sure, for our next roast. So, be brave, come on down, learn something, take the abuse, get some laughs, get some knowledge, and, get your startup in shape. Please, you want to be successful. It starts with the deck.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to try to have this every month or so until people get bored and stop showing up.
Yeah, so the next one is going to be August 30th at the same time of day. Don't forget to share, comment, like. Oh, I sound like an influencer. I feel like I have to sell protein or something now. Yeah. And click on our OnlyFans to see all exclusive stuff.
Yeah, we should do that. We should do an OnlyFans with the sexiest pitch deck we see.
The sexiest pitch deck on OnlyFans. Sign up below. And yeah, thank you, Max, for showing up, and thank you, Steph, for hosting it, and thank you for letting me tear into this, and thank you for the founders for again being brave enough to come on here and do it.
Thank you, Max. Do you want a last word, maybe?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for bringing me on. To all the founders that are still here, I think there are so many great resources around the web. Just take some time before you start building your deck. Get down to the basics. Take a look at a lot of the inspiration that you have from other decks that are like flying around the internet. Think about how they structured their decks, but there's also amazing content on YouTube, amazing content in blog form, written, and then the most important part around your deck, always iterate on your pitch deck. So the first version that you create for your pitch deck will never be the same as the last version that you will be having once you are raising the money from the investors. So all of the feedback that you are getting, just take it as an inspiration, iterate, and make your deck a little bit better every time.
Wonderful, perfect. Well, I think this is it. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Sean.
Congratulations on a job done.
Yeah, on the job done. I think that's it. All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.